My name is Laura Dawn. I am the host of Calming the ADHD Family and the founder of the ADHD Village. And I am so happy that you are here. This is so exciting. So as you're joining, please let me know you're here. Pop a little hello into the comments so I can see you're here. Good morning, Christina. And let us know where in the world you are from. Right now, there are people from 43 countries around the world participating in the Calming the ADHD Family Summit. So that's pretty cool. 43 countries around the world. Hi, Kelly. Let us know what country you're watching from. I'm in Canada. Christina, you're in North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. This is so exciting. I have so much I want to say to you today, and I have half an hour to say all the things before our first guest joins us, but I'm going to slow things down. I'll just give people a few minutes to come on before I share with you, but I would like to slow things down because as I feel like I have so much to say, I know that means that you have so much to receive. And I know that some people are having some feelings of overwhelmed because there's so much information. So I'll just take a moment to slow things down. Hello, Sarah. Glad you're here. And you'll be joining us very soon. Half an hour. You'll be coming on live. Yay. Okay. So yeah, as you're coming on, let us know what country you're watching from. Again, 43 different countries from around the world are participating in this summit. So that's pretty incredible. There's 2,600 people who have registered for the summit. That means that's a whole lot of parents, educators, coaches, therapists who are coming together to shift the parenting paradigm and change the way the world treats ADHD. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here together. With the strategies that we're learning from this summit, I am hoping that you're learning ways to anchor into your inner calm so that you can steer your family toward harmony and success. Hi, Geeta. I did see your email. It's all good. Geeta was asking, she had the gold VIP and she wanted to upgrade to platinum VIP. So if that's something that you're wanting to do, please reach out to me. That's something that's totally available to you. I think once Geeta saw the extras that come with platinum, she was hoping to join in for that. So that is definitely something available. Okay, so yesterday, during the live, we shared in the comments some of our kids' strengths because we talked about, hi CJ, we talked about wanting to focus on their strengths and all those positive qualities rather than putting a whole lot of energy on the struggles. So I wanted you to take a moment to anchor in to yourself. And what is something about you that you're proud of? If you watch Sarah Nikorak's session on Monday, she talked about the awesome protocol, and I am awesome because throughout the summit, we've been talking about glimmers and finding little things that make us happy. So I want you to think about, why are you awesome? What's glimmery about you? And take a moment to acknowledge it because you are here. You are showing up. Like, this takes love and dedication and effort and like the leadership that you want to have for your family. So thank you for being here. How are you awesome? And I want you to think about that as we take in 3 grounding breaths together. And we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through our nose. That's what we learned yesterday from Olive Hickmott, that when you're breathing through your nose helps to clean the air, add humidity to the air. And so that helps us to ground ourselves or anchor into our calm. So whatever feels comfortable, I sometimes like to put one hand on my heart, one hand on my belly. And that also helps me to make sure that I'm breathing deep in my belly. So when we're stressed or anxious, the breath is often up high in our chest and it's short and it's shallow, right? When you're relaxed, it's much deeper. When you're breathing in and out, if you can get your belly to move back and forth, that's massaging the vagus nerve, which is telling your body, I'm safe, I can relax, and it calms your nervous system. So let's take 3 slow, deep breaths together. And then what I'd like you to do, if it feels good for you, you can keep one hand on your heart and just tap on top of that hand. Or if you're already a little familiar with tapping or with me and my work, underneath your collarbone, I like to do the left-hand side when I'm bringing in the goodness. There's a little dent, like it indents, and it's probably a tender spot. So you can tap on there, or you can keep your hand on your heart and tap, or don't do any tapping at all, maybe just your hand on your heart or in your lap, whatever feels good, eyes open or closed. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to read the comments that you put in about why you're awesome. And as I'm reading them, I would love for you to repeat them after me. And we're going to anchor in these beautiful affirmations. Okay. So I'll just wait a couple seconds in case anybody else wants to add anything in. I am awesome because, or I am glimmery because, what makes you magical and wonderful? And it's important to acknowledge this. I think we're really good at acknowledging other people's strengths and not often so good at acknowledging our own strengths. So here we go. Let's anchor it in. Okay, I am motivated. I am becoming a better mother and wife every day. And again, I'm reading what you've shared in the comments here. I understand my child more every day. I am learning and expanding every day. I am positive. I always show up. I am passionate. I am 100% invested in helping my grandchildren. I am so good at connecting with my son. I always want to keep learning to be a better teacher, mother, and gram. I am compassionate. I am friendly. I am authentic. I am honest. I am forgiving. I am hilarious. I am helpful. I celebrate others' wins and successes, no matter how big or how small, since it is all huge. I am awesome. I am awesome because I am me. Just take a moment and add in a few more of your own. Just give yourself this time to recognize yourself, acknowledge yourself. You are awesome, and I'm so grateful you're here. Take a deep breath. And let's lock our fingers like this. This is from Kathy Flaminio. So this is any kind of crossing over is good for your brain, body brain connection. And we're just going to give a little bit of a head massage. And this is kind of just pushing down. Kathy talks about this is like connecting the highway, shortening the highway between your thinking brain and your emotional brain. And if it feels good to rock back and forth a little bit. I am awesome. And give yourself a little hug. And when you're hugging yourself and crossing over your arms, again, that's crossing the midline. So any kind of actions that cross the midline are really good for the ADHD brain. Hi, Allison. So glad you could join us. And you can be joining us on camera at 12:30. Your Allison session just aired today, and I know people had an opportunity already to watch it and really enjoyed it. Thank you, Allison. Okay. So how's everybody feeling? Drop in the comments how you are feeling, and I'm going to tell you, good is not okay. I mean, it is okay. Of course, it's good to be okay and okay to be good, but I don't want to hear I'm feeling good. Like, hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Pick a different word. And I'm going to share a graphic with you that will help you with that. So in the Facebook group, in the ADHD Village Facebook group, oops, at the top, let me just close all my chats here. At the top of the group, hang on. In the guide section, how do we get there? Am I in the group? I'm not in the group. Here we go. Okay. So again, at the top, pinned to the top are the sessions from today. All the schedules, all the important stuff is pinned to the top. And then there's a guide section. So if you scroll down in the guide section, you will see our new guides from the summit. There's day one. So there's all the threads, the speaker threads from day one where you can comment. And when you comment, that's one of the ways that you can be entered in a chance to win prizes. And then if we keep scrolling down, there's day two, day three will be coming later on. But further up, there are some graphics. So right here is the build emotional vocabulary graphic. This is a bit of an older one. It's been in here for a while, but it's a good one. Okay. So this gives you some vocabulary. How are you feeling? So it's great for us to build our vocabulary so we can role model for our kids. This one is a little bit more of a grown-up one or older kid one. But it's great to role model for our kids these kind of words so they can get used to these kinds of words. Now, these are color coded. The green are generally pleasant feelings, and the red and the blue are unpleasant feelings. And there's notice I didn't say positive and negative emotions because all emotions have purpose. They all have value. And it's okay to have all the feelings. But some do feel good and some feel pleasant and comfortable, and some don't feel pleasant or good or comfortable. And that's the truth. Thanks for the love, Sarah. Okay, so how are we feeling? I see calm, relaxed. I think that affirmations and tapping helped. I see excited, grateful, loving. Got some tired in here. That's okay. All the feelings are okay. So thanks for sharing how you're feeling today. And I think it's really important that we take a moment and acknowledge how we're feeling. And now that you've given it a name, they say name it to tame it. Feel it to heal it is the next part. So you've shared how you're feeling. How does it feel in your body? And that might feel or sound like an uncomfortable or awkward thing if you're not familiar with this kind of language, but just notice, like if you picked happy, like do you feel the smile on your face? Like, what do you feel in your shoulders? Like if you're feeling calm, like where do you feel those vibrations in your body? And that's what emotions are. They're energy and motion. They're vibrations in your body. So you've just labeled your feeling. Now, can you notice where you feel it? If you're feeling tired, like, do you feel a heaviness across your eyes and forehead? Do you feel a lightness? So take a moment to think about it and share. How are you feeling in your body? On my website, theadhdvillage.com, there is an organizer, like in the free resource section, that helps you to journal your thoughts and your feelings and helps you to tune into recognizing where your feelings are in your body. So if that's something you would like, please have a look at that. Okay. How is everybody feeling about the summit? Are we loving it? We learning lots? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of the summit? I am incredibly grateful that you're here. And I'm also incredibly, incredibly grateful to all of the like amazing, fantastic, knowledgeable experts that have contributed so much to this event. Their time, their gifts, their truly their heart and their energy. Thank you. Yes, it is so amazing. I'm so proud of this work. Grateful for the information. Awesome, Mariah. So good to hear. So, okay, overwhelmed, scattered, frustrated, stressed, but still happy. Just logged in. Okay. Yes, and all those feelings are okay. What is something that you've learned already that really resonates with you? And I'd love, love, love for you to share this in the comments. My team and I will be looking through the comments and taking some of these things and turning them into pretty graphics that you can have a look at. So if there's something that you've already learned, maybe there's a strategy that you've already tried or a phrase that you've tried saying. And remember what Nicole Mitchell, if you were on yesterday, Nicole Mitchell said, think of this as a buffet. Like there's so much available to you, but just pick one and do it really well. So even though there's 11 pre-recorded sessions every day, and then there's the live sessions, you don't have to do them all or feel like you have to do them all. And I don't want you to feel overwhelmed about how much there is. Pick one or two that resonates with you. Okay, so Kelly said some of the recordings have started to be helpful. Thanks, Sarah. Yes, everybody's very generous. Love the participation from the parent viewers too. Yes, that's really something that people have been mentioning, Sarah, is that they really love the community and the sense of like, I'm not alone in having these feelings and there's other people who get it. So that's really something that people are taking away or receiving from this summit. Jenny said Sonali's presentation was just what I needed today. Oh, that's perfect. And so Sonali's pre-recording came out today and her topic is all about siblings and she shares her Schwab method. So that's really beautiful and helpful. Okay. Glimmers. Elena, you really like the glimmers. You're going to try to use it every day with your grandson and for yourself. Even my husband likes this idea. So nice. CJ said, learning lots, tapping, breathing as relaxation. Would like more on young ADHD learners, elementary age. So actually we'll be bringing Sarah on camera in just a little while. She's an elementary school teacher. So hopefully that's something that you'll relate to. Yes, Stacy's noticing that she needs to work on her self-care. Sarah loves the consistency in the messaging. I always find this so incredible when I do summits and I interview, like this time around, there was 33 different humans participating in the summit from all different backgrounds, teachers, therapists, coaches, psychiatrists, pediatricians, speech and language pathologists, like from around the world. We've got Australia, New Zealand, Canada, United States, the UK, like all around the globe. And it's so fascinating how our messages are consistent, which tells us something, right? Stacy says she needs to focus more on her executive functioning so I can be there for my kids in the capacity that they need. Hello, Allison. So glad you're watching. Allison's session aired yesterday and it was absolutely wonderful. So we have two Allisons watching today. Okay, so I have seen a few comments that there is a little bit of, oh, there's so much information. And yes, there is a lot of information. So there's a live component, which I really thought was helpful to have, because it is nice for us to connect in here, to build community, for, have some interaction, maybe have a chance for you to ask questions, especially of the experts. And then there's all the recordings. So if you did not have a chance to get through, all of the recordings, there's a few ways to look at this. One is take Nicole Mitchell's advice and just pick one or two and do those ones really well. Choose what resonates with you. You don't have to do it all, because if you try to do it all, like, how can we can't do it all. We're human. We can't do it all. So pick one or two and do it really well. The other thing is this weekend. So starting Saturday, as soon as it turns into Saturday morning on the East Coast, so in New York or Toronto time zone, for 48 hours, you will have access to the full replay. So you can watch everything over the weekend. Also, if you're somebody who likes to go back and watch sessions again and take your time and maybe rewatch it with your spouse or your parenting partner or your mom, there are the VIP packages available to you. And there's the gold and there's the platinum. And I'd love to show you something about the platinum package, because there's so much in it, and I don't want to be overwhelming. Again, think of it as a buffet. You get to pick and choose what's right for you. And I tend to over deliver. I've looked at, some of the other summits that are happening this summer, and I can see there's a lot of added value, a lot of added support in this summit. And I'm hoping that you're seeing the value in this, but I want to share something with you because I'm really excited about this. So, if you already have your VIP pass, I'm working right now on creating the membership area. So that will be available once the summit ends. So when the summit ends, VIPs will have access to a membership area that has all the recordings and all the bonuses and stuff. So I'm just creating the copy and putting the graphics kind of together. And then I share that with my tech VA, Tiffany, and she puts it on the website. But I want to show you because I was just working on this morning. And as I was working on it, I was thinking, whoa, like there is a lot of value in here and this is why I keep talking about, where is it now? Why I keep talking about the VIP, because I want you to know about it. I want you to know like how valuable this is. And if you're able to do this for yourself, this could be the best thing that you do for your family. I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. So let me show you. So this is like my rough draft of what's going into the platinum membership area. So again, if you're like Gita and you had gold and you want platinum, reach out to me or my team and we'll give you a link so you can upgrade. But the platinum comes with, you can book a private coaching call with myself at 60% off, or anybody's welcome to book a consultation call with me. So that's something that I'm also offering. Now, platinum members will have a $333 coupon that can be applied to either my group coaching program, which is the Warrior Mamas, or a private package with me. So you invest in platinum and it comes with $333 in coupons. And also, if you decided to book a private coaching call with me, the fee that you pay for that will also get applied to a package if you choose to have a package. So I wanted to point that out to you. Also, the Love You membership is included for all VIP members. So 1 month support inside of Love You. If you're a VIP, that's included in your package. If you're not a VIP, and that's not something you're interested in, but you are interested in being a part of a close community that gets it, having some coaching from me, having a chance where you can ask your questions and get answers, having just a phenomenal amount of resources, then you might consider joining the Love You Parenting membership. I would love to have you in there, and it's only $33 a month. So I tried to keep that as reasonable as possible. Now, inside the membership, when you are a member, you will have access to my new course, which is the back to school special. So on Friday, everybody's invited to a Zoom call where we will spend 1 hour workshop on back to school. And then I'm offering a 3-module course that will begin next week. And we'll have 2 sessions in August, or beginning of September, like right, if you're in Ontario, it's right before school starts. And then we're going to meet up again in about 6 weeks. So after the kids have already gone to school, tried out some of the strategies, we're going to get together again to check in, see how things are going, and see what support you need moving forward. So during the summit time, I'm offering this course for $77. After the summit, it will be $111. But if you're in the membership, it's part of the membership. So it's worth it. Spend $33. You get this course that's valued at $111. There's another course that's coming. This one's coming at the end of September. It's the energetics of motherhood. So this is where I take you through the different energy types and how you can balance your energy so that you can be the best version of yourself, not only for your kids, but for yourself. And when you can tap into these different energy types, beautiful transformations happen in your family. Everything is energy. Your children feel your energy. And this is a beautiful course. Again, it's 3 modules. And again, it's $77 now during the summit. After the summit, it's $111. And if you have the membership, it will be included in the membership. So for $33 a month, or free if you have VIP, these 2 courses are going in there. And these are new courses in addition to what's already in the membership and in addition to coaching. Then there's the beautiful VIP journal. There's our Zoom session. So we've already had 2 Zoom sessions for VIPs. We have another one today at 2. And then platinum members also have the Heart Brain Boot Camp, which is tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern time, everybody's invited to a Zoom call. You should have received an email already with the Zoom link. If not, another one's going to be coming out. But everyone's invited to the how to keep your cool. No, how not to lose your cool, especially when your kids do, masterclass tomorrow morning. And then in the afternoon, platinum VIPs will be joining me for Heart Brain Boot Camp. And this is really beautiful and powerful. And I'm very excited to be sharing this tomorrow. So again, if you don't have your VIP yet and you'd like to get in that Heart Brain Boot Camp and you'd like to have these 2 courses, that VIP Platinum Pass is a great option. Okay. Anchor into Calm mini video series. So on the day 1 of the summit, you would have already received actually Sarah Nikorik's Anchor in mini video to let you know what they're all about. But these are videos that are 1 to 3 minutes long, and they are meant to give you strategies to help you anchor into your calm. So what we did at the beginning with some little bit of tapping and affirmations, where we gave our head that little bit of a massage, that hugging and rocking, like little strategies like that to build in. So you have this whole toolbox full of strategies to anchor into your calm, to bring some peace and harmony into your world so that you can bring peace and harmony into your family. And so you can steer them towards success, but it starts with you. You're the leader, you're the captain of your ship. And so this is a beautiful little mini series. I think there's about 20 videos from various experts from the summit. Oh my goodness. See what I mean? Like, this is why I was so excited to share this with you. Like, there is an abundance of value in the platinum package, and the price right now is still at 30-ish% off, 31% off. The price will go up at the end of the summit. So if you're thinking about platinum, this is the time to jump in, because you get the Heart Brain Boot Camp tomorrow, and you get all of these additional things. So the 21-day emotional intelligence challenge, the Love You in Your Marriage Masterclass, and then there's all the sessions. So there's a whole load of value in there, and I'm really excited to be sharing this with you. Everything that I create comes from, honestly, from a place of love, from a place of, if I could go back in time and like, what would I want to have that would have helped me? And I was really struggling when my kids were little. Even though I'm a teacher and I was a special education teacher, I did have ADHD. It was undiagnosed at the time, and I felt like I was drowning in the overwhelm of everything with these 2 little kids that were always fighting and always into mischief and getting in trouble at school. And it felt like I was always walking on eggshells, like terrified of what was going to happen next. Like, I get it. I've been there. Like, I've been a puddle on the floor, bawling my eyes out, thinking like, I don't even know how to get myself up off the floor. And I remember being told, well, you need to do self-care, and thinking, what the heck does that even mean? And I don't have time for it. But everything that I create comes from a place of love. it comes from a place of, I want to help your children. And the best way I know how to do that is to help you so you can help your children. And it comes from my own personal experience, but it also comes from my educational background. I have a degree, an honors science degree in psychology. I have my education degree. I have, my specialist in environmental science and in special education. And I've got my coaching training and all the things. So it comes from love, personal experience as a mom, as a person with ADHD, teaching and coaching experience. So you're getting like my experience with my students and my clients and all the books I've read. And all, so you don't have to go do the work and spend all the money in all the different places, because I've done it and packaged it up for you. And I'm saying, here you go. So, okay, that's enough. I'm just so excited about sharing all this with you. And I wanted to make sure you knew what was available to you. I'm bringing Sarah on in just 1 minute. But before I do have some prizes from yesterday to announce. Let me just open up that window. So, and then I'll announce today's prizes either at the end of the day today or tomorrow morning. It just gives my team and I time to look in the Facebook group and see who's commenting, who's participating. If you have an accountability partner in the group, tag them. Keep on sharing on Facebook, on Instagram, tag me in those shares. Let's get this message out together. So together we can shift the parenting paradigm and change the way the world treats children with ADHD. Okay, let me scroll through here because we have 3 winners that I'd like to announce. And these are the winners from yesterday. So the first winner is for Stephanie Pinto's book, From Chaos to Connection. I just need to scroll through. Where are my notes? My team plunked the winners in my notes. There they are. Okay, the winner of the book is CJ Jones. Congratulations, CJ. And drop some hearts in the stream right now to show that you're celebrating along with CJ. Your brain doesn't know the difference whether you're celebrating for yourself or somebody else. So there's a lot of benefit. When you celebrate, your brain gets this dose of feel-good neurochemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. So yay, CJ. So I will be in touch with you so I can mail you your book. A private coaching call with me, and the winner is Megan Lorena Petron. Congratulations, Megan. And our VIP all access pass, and this is a platinum pass. So all those goodies that I just showed you, this is going to Christy O'Connor. Congratulations, Christy. So those 3 winners, I will be reaching out to you so that you can claim your prizes. And I'm so happy for you. And I hope that you enjoy them. Okay, now I need to find my little window. There it is, so I can let Sarah on the call. Let's welcome Sarah with some hearts to show her some love and appreciation. Sarah is my dear friend. She's an educational leader, a master neuro coach. She's also a tapping coach. There's her beautiful face. Hi, Sarah. Welcome.
Hi, Laura. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay! Let us know in the comments if you already saw Sarah's session. So that awesome protocol that we did at the beginning, that came from Sarah's session. It aired on Monday. If you didn't have a chance to watch it, you can watch it on the replay weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday. I highly recommend you watch Sarah's session, especially if you're a teacher, an educator, or a parent teacher, because really we're our kids' first teachers, right? So all teacher
Everyone's
brains.
teacher.
Yeah. Sarah, welcome. So glad you're here.
Hi, Stacy. Hi. Thank you. I'm just reading to the side. I'm seeing where I can see the comments. Thank you. So good to see you.
So Sarah, let me ask you, what's a way that you like to anchor into your inner calm?
Oh gosh, so many ways. I love to so I've learned a lot of things from you and the experts that you've had on. I know this is the 3rd annual summit. So like, tapping, number 1, is my go-to. Feeling my feelings is another go-to. So I don't try to stop myself from crying if I feel like I need to cry. And
Mhm.
again, and it's not to say like, I rage out on someone. That's different. I'm talking about if I'm feeling nervous, then I name it to tame it and then narrate what's happening. And then I'll notice what's around me, like name 5 things that I can see, 4 things that I can hear, all those types of things. But tapping is definitely my go-to. And really, it's awareness really in the past few years through my brain training and stuff, just like awareness of what's happening in your brain really calms things quite quickly, because you can get curious instead of, I know you say curious instead of furious, curious instead of judgmental. And so not compounding like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm feeling sad. I shouldn't be feeling sad. And then you shame yourself for feeling sad. There's no need for that. And so really being present and aware is my like preemptive step for calming myself. And then when I'm in the moment, tapping for sure. Whenever I notice like a ramble of negativity or worry or frustration, or I'm a failure of a mom, I start tapping. I had that one last week. So I was tapping on that and crying in the shower.
I love that you shared that you had that moment, because I think it feels good for us to see that even Sarah felt like a failure and was crying. Like even Sarah, who's an amazing mom and she's an amazing educational leader and even you have those moments. So it's okay if I have those moments too. Yes, it's okay.
Yeah,
We're all
and it's
human.
funny that we're on this right now, because this came up in my coaching call last night with some clients. And this is the thing, what I mean about getting curious. So it's like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Like, those are the words that came. I feel like a failure of a mom. And often we do this where we say these sweeping judgments of things, or like almost a cliche. Like I've heard that before, right? We've heard people say that I'm a failure of a mom. If we stop for a second, this is what I mean by awareness, and get curious. And we stopped and said, like, hold on, what does failure of a mom actually look like? And we took a second to like define it for ourselves. So if I'm saying I'm a failure of a mom, what do I mean? So I was calling myself a failure of a mom because I didn't feel like I was taking my daughter out to the park enough. Like that was my, in the moment, my definition of failure of a mom. I felt like I was spending a bit more time than I should doing some work when I was shitting on myself, and I should be taking her places. And we've been home so much, and she's totally happy and like hilarious all day long, but like my own story. But if we stop and think, like, does that make a failure of a mom? Like if we stopped for a second and was like, okay, what would I define a failure as a mom? First of all, I don't even know if you can define that, because there are so many nuances and things in there. But like, let's just, for argument's sake, say someone who neglected their kids on purpose, like chose to neglect their kids, yelled and screamed horrible things at them, didn't feed them, didn't love them, didn't care for them, like didn't know where they were at any given time. Like maybe, and even in there are, nuances. Of course, I believe people are doing the best with what they can. But if that's my definition of like an actual failure of a mom, then not taking my daughter to the park enough is nowhere near that. And yet that's what I've been telling myself in my brain. And so that's what I mean by being aware of what's rattling around back there, and really getting curious about and specific about the things you're telling yourself. That really preempts or what's the word I'm looking for? Preempts? Not preempts, prevents a lot of that, the like outbursty negative spiral type of stuff, because you can be like, thank you, brain. I appreciate your input. That is not what's happening right now. And we can, like you said, engage. We can cross from the emotional side to the logical side, because we know that when emotions are high, intelligence is low, all of that kind of stuff. I've flipped my lid. So yeah.
Oh, I love everything that you just shared. And oh, I just lost my thought. Sorry. There's a question that came in from Stacy. I have
Mhm.
lots of sensory issues and sensitivity to pain if I get poked. Are there others that have issues with tapping? Is there a different way to do tapping if you are sensitive?
So tapping, first of all, it's if you're poking yourself, then that's not the tapping. And if it's too hard, you don't want to do that. But yes, there are other things like you can rub, right? You can kind of push a little bit instead of, but tapping really should be light, like you're not slamming your face or slamming yourself. You're just kind of lightly tapping. And so if that is an issue for you, then yes, you can kind of like gently rub a little bit. You don't have to tap, tap, tap. You can, there are lots of other things you can do with the ears, like Laura has shared before. There's brain gym stuff. There's the energetic routine, so the crossover things. Yeah, but I would explore and because you don't want, the point is not to get you more anxious and set off something. It's really to calm. So if you can play around with like the pressure that feels comfortable for you, then that would be great.
Yeah. And so Stacy said,
Start.
yeah, even the gentle tapping she can't handle.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, trying the rubbing. This is a good one too, like squeezing beside the nail bed. So I don't know if that would
Mhm.
be sensitive to you or not, but those are tapping points as well. And it's not tapping, it's squeezing. Um, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in my 20s, and through doing the neuro coaching work and tapping, which is exactly Sarah's program, the accelerated transformation method, through that, I rarely can say that I have pain. Like I used to wake up every morning with a fibromyalgia flare up, and every day was difficult. And I believe the tapping has changed that for me. And maybe Sarah, you can explain how tapping can
Yeah,
alleviate pain.
I was gonna also say, Stacy, you may want to look into the emotional code because um, it's a technique. There's more to it than this, but essentially it's like magnets, running magnets from like your nose down your spine to pull out emotion, because often, especially in those points, because those points are connected to organs in our body and they're meant to move the energy around through your meridians. And if those points are tender, that's indicating something is needing to be addressed. And usually there's an emotional component to it. So you could look into, because that's kind of a non-contact way. There is a book called The Emotion Code. And there are practitioners around, like you can Google that and give that a go and see if that helps to alleviate some of that so that you can tap, because like Laura said, the tapping actually has like scientific, biological benefits that are measurable now with our equipment. And so it does relieve pain, it does reduce inflammation, it does improve blood pressure, it does reduce stress, like all of those things that contribute to all of our other stuff. It does address those deep things. Excuse me. So if you can get to a place through something, like maybe this is the gateway or the emotion code or something that can get you to a place where you're able to tap, you will, like Laura said, get the benefits from that as well.
They say your issues live in your tissues.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I said it was the neuro coaching along with the tapping, like that emotional work.
Mhm.
If this is something you want to explore in the Heart Brain Boot Camp tomorrow, we will be doing some tapping. So that is available to you. So that comes with the Platinum VIP pass, the Heart Brain Boot Camp tomorrow. And I'd love to support you in there.
The other thing too is if there's one spot that you can manage, this is a good one because it's where all of the meridians cross. So, and it's also one that's often tender for people because it's where all the meridians cross. So it's where all the emotional gunk can get stirred up. It's connected to your spleen. And yeah, so that's where things can happen. And it's a good place if you're able to do one.
And I wonder, instead of tapping, just like like pushing a little bit, a little if
Yeah,
that's
try it and see. Really, like you said, it's the combination of the clearing of like verbally or in writing or both, clearing, and with, usually it's better to do that with someone, like with a coach or someone who can ask you the questions to get stuff moving, who knows how to really hone in, and then tapping that really helps. Yeah.
Sarah, it's back to school time very soon. And I know a lot of our friends in the States have already gone back to school. I'm seeing all these beautiful back to school pictures. Um, what would you like to say to parents and educators around how they can get ready for back to school? Because I know you have some exciting things happening in your world for teachers, but is there something you can offer us that
I mean, there's so much. There's so much. I loved what Nicole was talking about yesterday in terms of like connecting with the educator of your child, or if you're an educator, being open to connecting with the parents who are coming to you and understanding. It's so funny when I was listening, this is what came up for me, was like parents are coming in thinking like, I'm not doing enough, panicking, and then like unloading and being like, the school needs to do sometimes, and then the school is like, don't tell me what to do. Like sometimes that like can get sticky. So if everyone can just kind of understand that we're and kind of let go of, like I said, be aware of what thoughts are coming up, because when we come from that place of fear, that's where the tension builds. And so if we can understand that we're all in it for the better of like the good of the students, the learners, the kids, and everyone in the system. I like to call it the ecosystem: the parents, the school system, and the educators, and the student and the learners. And if we can all understand and remember that we're all in it, like the why behind it, like we're all in it to help these little learners, young learners, some of them are bigger than others, these young learners, then, there doesn't need to be any ego in there. So if you are, I love how Nicole was talking about advocating for your child. Teachers would love, like, I know educators are open to that. They're also dealing with, I love these children and I want to do the best for them. And they also have that, I'm not doing enough, I'm a failure of a teacher. All of that is in there as well. So when we're both coming in with that, that's where tension can build or dissonance builds. But if we can come in with like okay, what can I do? How can we support these little beings, these young beings, to the best of our capabilities as a team, like that? Who wouldn't want that? So I love, like, if you can get on in connection with with the educator of your children, and educators, if you can get in connection with your parents. Like I love how Nicole is saying, like, her heart was in the right place. She had all these best intentions with 100 students, and it's not necessarily about parent, like, okay, don't remember to do this, remember to do that. Like it's having that other person to keep an accountability buddy who's like, okay, I know that you really want to do this, so I'm going to check in and make sure that you're on. Oh, thank you. Yes, because I would have gotten off track and science would have taken over versus like this emotional part. So really coming together as like a team and understanding that you are a team, and remembering that why everybody's there, and keeping each other accountable in a loving and supportive way. Oh my gosh, that will go so far. If that's the only thing that gets done this year, like that's phenomenal. That would be phenomenal.
it makes such a difference when parents and teachers are on the same page supporting kids together. It's
And the kids can see it. They call, like, this is the other thing. I think the other thing is modeling. Oh gosh, if there's anything, like if you've ever been called out by your 5-year-old, then right? You know where your gaps are between what you're saying you want them to do and what you're doing or not doing. Because oh my gosh, I've been called out, and if you get called out and there's like a emotional response to it, or like, oh, just never mind, that's a hint that there's something there. Because clearly, like when I'm saying, to my daughter, put your phone down, meanwhile I'm like checking something, and she goes, but you're putting your phone down. Well, I just have to check something. So what message does that send? So really, like, staying accountable with yourself and leading, like you said, the way to help the kids is to help the grownups too, because we don't realize we're doing this. And it's not about getting called out and shaming. It's about going, oh yeah, like no one, like again, getting curious, like, oh yes, I am doing that. And I'm saying this, and those two things don't match up. And so really being aware of that and the gap and trying to close it, and modeling, because that is really going to go far. They watch everything, that. They watch everything you do.
Sarah, there's a question that came in from Sherry. We are day 3 of school. My daughter is 15 and went to the first day and refused to go yesterday and today. She's not been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure she has inattentive ADD. She cannot connect to her executive functioning. My husband and I have tried everything. I've really tried to talk to her, but she is shut down. So I guess Sherry's question is how do we support her daughter, this 15-year-old daughter? And I mean, the goal is to get her to school. So where would you suggest that parents, where should Sherry get started?
Yeah, again, so I mean, there's so much. It's like talking to or listening to, like, which is happening. So I would ask her some questions, the daughter, and find out what's at the root, like Nicole was talking about. Just let her dump and find that nugget, and then connect with the educator and say, like, this is our concern. Again, coming at it with, like, she doesn't want to come. If I'm a teacher, just imagine someone comes to you and says, like, my daughter doesn't want to come to your house. Like, she went one day, but then she doesn't want to come. She didn't want to come yesterday, and she doesn't want to come today. Like, that parent could have, like, oh my gosh, like, they're thinking already, like, what would you think if I said, I'm sorry, but my daughter doesn't want to come to your house? Like, you're gonna, oh my gosh, why? Like, all these things are gonna happen inside your head. That's what happens in the teacher too, because they have the best intentions, like we said. So I would have thinking about how to open that dialogue, but to say, like, we've had a struggle the past 2 mornings with our daughter wanting to come to school. And so this is what we did. We asked her to share. She said this, we're trying to navigate. Our goal is to get her to school. What do you think about this? What are you seeing? Like, I always find it works. It's more smooth when you come in with questions about perspectives rather than telling, right? When you come in with questions and what do you think we can do and how can we solve this thing, because we really want her in school, you all have the same goal. And so how can we make this happen and make it a we? I would start there, because that could fix it right there. It's just like, oh, it's this. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, how can we make sure that this is addressed?
So Sarah, you picked up on the words, I already tried to talk to her. And then you mentioned like the listening part. And so in Love You Parenting, that's the course that Sarah and I created together, the Love You Parenting Intensive course. LOVEU all stands for something, but the L is listening and deeply listening to your child. So allowing her that moment, and maybe not when she's in that shutdown mode, but like letting her know, like, I see this is really hard for you. I get it. I can see how hard this is for you. Tell me what's going on.
Without the but. I see this is hard for you, but you really need to go. Like, they can feel you pushing an agenda. So you want to allow them and validate. V in our Love You is validate and value. And so we want them to feel safe sharing what's going on for them and saying, like, oh, I get that. Like, sometimes I feel this way when I'm in a new whatever. You want to connect first and then say, okay, so, and even ask her, like, how do you think we can solve this? Like, how do you think we could make school an enjoyable place? Or what are your options? Because I even, like, as a teacher, when we can't solve something, I bring it to the students and they have a solution I never thought of in 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, sometimes, like, I've seen so much. Sometimes it's like, well, I want to wear my blue pajamas to school every day. And you're like, oh, that's it. Like, I'm not saying that would be the case here, but sometimes it's something. And if we're not, taking that step, then that can get overlooked, or we can think that's too simple, or we can devalue, or we pick the wrong battle, or whatever it is. And so yeah, I would start listening like that.
Sherry said, I will try to mirror her feelings and listen with an open heart. She's already tried the dialogue, but she won't talk. The daughter won't talk. And I've asked her and she says she doesn't know. And so we were on a call yesterday. Now, who was it? Oh no, it was in the VIP call. One of the coaches in the VIP call yesterday was saying that when when kids say they don't know, they maybe don't know, or maybe it's really uncomfortable and they don't want to say. So just giving her that opportunity, like, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it. Just you can say that you don't want to talk about it. Like, that's okay. Um, Another thing is you can use these I imagine statements. Like, I can imagine that it's really hard to go to school. You're in a new classroom with new teachers and a new group of kids. I can imagine that that's really hard for you. Or I can
Yeah.
imagine, and then so
Yeah.
that might just open up the dialogue.
Yeah. And I love how you said the mirroring thing, because really we tend to say too many words.
Mm.
And so if you can just say just repeat what she said, like, I don't know. You don't know? No. And if they're really stuck, then you can try, like, I imagine it would be hard. Like, I'm trying to think, and you turn it to you. Like, don't say like, well, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Like that. But if you can say, like, I imagine, like, when I'm feeling like this, or I don't know, like, I imagine that it might feel like this. And patience, because especially if this is new, especially if this is a new approach, especially if something is going on, like, it's going to take time. So it is like, I know you want to get them out the door. We want to, like, get them, like, we got to achieve this goal. We got to get this thing done. We have our agenda, but if we can, you're going to get there faster if you slow down. Slowing down to speed up.
I hope you found that helpful, Sherry. There was some golden nuggets in there. Kelly has a question, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I often encounter this too with my son, and when I asked him how he would like to resolve it, the only solution he comes up with is to get his way. And his way is often to not do the schoolwork or not do the chore or not correct the wrong.
Of course. So, of course he wants that. We all want to get our way. So it's like, I get it. I want to get my way too. Here's the thing. This needs to get done. So how can we do it so it's I win, you win, we win? So everybody gets a piece of what they want, or everybody contributes, and everybody contributes some of toward what needs to get done. So maybe you're offering some support. Maybe it's one little thing at a time. Maybe it's, but you're collaboratively like, yeah, I totally hear that. I would love to not clean either, but here's the thing. And still, imagine if, like, get playful. Imagine if, like, we just left the bathroom. That'd be so gross. So the bathroom needs to get cleaned. We all as a family are going to contribute to this. What's the solution? Here's our target. What's the solution? So you're still focusing on the thing and not the person is really the crux of it.
That's really especially important when your kids have ADHD and they already may be very sensitive to any sort of criticism or negative feedback. So focusing on the thing and not the person. I like that.
And really what it comes down to is like, okay, well, because if the thing is, if we're if we want it done a certain way, then either we have to be willing to do it without making someone else feel bad about it, or we need to come to a solution together. So you always have a choice. Like, I can clean the bathroom, but I don't get to clean the bathroom and grumble about it if I'm not willing to have the conversation about how to get everybody on board. And it's okay if they clean the bathroom and grumble. I totally get it. You don't want to do it. I don't love cleaning the bathroom either. Here's the thing. It needs to get clean. What if I do the tub and you do the sink? Like, maybe you start there. Like, you get to play with a whole bunch of different options and keep the issue as the issue and not the person. Like, you have to do it because I'm the parent and I said so. It doesn't fly. Like, that's not gonna get you any points.
Yeah. So Kelly's just responding, yes, focusing on the thing and not the person. I want to work on that because it's so difficult, especially when he has such a bad attitude and is so disrespectful. So just keeping it in mind, like the bad attitude and disrespectful,
Yes.
the things that you're observing that the things that you're observing, the behaviors that he's demonstrating that's giving the labels of bad attitude and disrespectful, there's something beneath that. There's like a need that needs to be met. Sarah, you're nodding your head. You can probably say this more eloquently than I can.
No, that's great. When we label things like that, that's something like you're saying it's disrespectful, which is like to you. So that means there's something in you that this action, which is just an action, he's just doing what he's doing. Why is it twinging that it's your brain, why is it making it mean that that is a disrespectful thing? So you want to dig in. This is where the coaching part is so valuable, and also like being aware, the awareness. It's like, oh, interesting. I'm feeling disrespected when he does X, Y, and Z, or doesn't do X, Y, and Z. What is that connection? Where did that come from? And how can I disconnect it?
So valuable. Thank you, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have not yet seen Sarah's session, it will be airing on the weekend. So all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And the free gift that Sarah is offering is the awesome protocol, which is a step-by-step that explains exactly how to do it for yourself in your home or for in your classroom. If you have the VIP package, Sarah also has her tapping to a good night's sleep guide in there. So it explains what the tapping points are, where they are, how you can use tapping to help your kids have a good night's sleep. It's a really beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful, Sarah.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's my pleasure. That's where I started with my daughter, because she was like, what are you doing? When I would tap, and I'm like, do you want me to do it to you? She's like, no, thanks. And so we started at bedtime and normalized it. And it's fantastic. And it does, it calms your amygdala, gets you into sleep mode.
Sarah, do you have time for one more question or any more
Yeah,
words of
sure.
wisdom? Okay. So Elena just asked, how do we help our kindergartner follow the school rules?
Well, that is a loaded question. Oh boy. Okay. Where do I start? Following rules. Okay. I would, again, really, it all comes down to the same thing: conversation, listening, feelings, explaining the why. So like, is there a why? Like if I just said to you, okay, from now on, before you have breakfast, you're going to do 5 jumping jacks. What's the first question out of your mouth? Why? Yeah. Like we want to know the why. So do the kids. Like I just have to follow this rule. Why do I have to do that? And when they don't understand the why, that's often where that, like, it's got to be meaningful to us in order to just do the thing. And when it comes as like, this is the rule, period, and there's a punishment if you don't follow it, or sometimes even a reward if you do follow it, that's not meaningful enough for us to follow the rules. And so again, it's communication. I think it really would solve almost 100% of the world's problems. And the approach of the communication as well. A loving communication would solve 100% of the world's problems, in my opinion. And so really, like, loving communication with your daughter, loving communication with the educator, and maybe, that's educators, especially in kindergarten. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many people who have talked about our parents didn't get this, and we didn't get it, so how do we know? Some people just don't realize that even 3-year-olds want the why. Well, that, although they ask why more than any human in the whole wide world. And so how important that why is, because we need to feel like either we understand the meaning and it means something to us, or we understand the meaning and we respect the people who set the meaning. We trust that they have the meaning is important. Like it's a safety thing, or it's a, whatever it is. And we feel valued, or we're involved in the process. So maybe it's like, what rules would you set? What rules should we set? Like, again, I win, you win, we win. Let's have the conversation. Let's talk about what it means and be aware of our thinking and listen to each other lovingly and value our feelings. Again, it's like, I do have personal feelings though about like, you shall follow the rules or else. So I don't know if that was in that question or not.
So love and communication. It comes down to love and
Yeah,
communication.
I feel like it always does. Yeah.
Sarah, where can people follow you and find you if they want to reach out to you?
You can find me on Instagram. Instagram, teaching.little.brains. I do have a podcast, Teaching Little Brains. I haven't done an episode in a little while, but it's there. There's some good stuff for like starting, like if you go back to the early episodes, there's one on celebration, which I know, Laura, you're really big on, and the science of what that does for you, those neurochemicals that help. That's really good. But yeah, you DM me anywhere, Sarah Nicoruk on Facebook, or teaching.little.brains on Instagram. You can find me there.
Awesome. Thank you. And I highly, highly recommend Sarah's podcast, Teaching Little Brains. It is fantastic. Something great to listen to while you're going for a walk or driving to work. It's my favorite podcast. I always recommend it. Christy said that she already has your guide, the tapping for bedtime, and she absolutely loves it. So thanks for sharing that, Christy.
Thank you, Christy.
Let's give some hearts to Sarah to show her our love, appreciation, and gratitude. And also let's show some hearts for Allison Michelle, who we will be welcoming in. Sarah, this is a chance for you and Allison to meet each other.
Hi, Allison. So nice to meet you.
So Allison's session aired today. It was a lovely session on how to like feel your feelings through art and figure out what your spirit animal is. So I wonder if anyone's tried this. We'd love to see your spirit animal pictures in the Facebook group. Hi, Allison.
Hello, hello. Good morning. Oh, early afternoon. Good afternoon.
Allison meets Sarah Nicoruk.
Hi,
Hello.
Allison.
Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Thank you.
I thought
And
you
Laura,
too.
thank you so much. Like, I know this is your third annual. It's phenomenal. It's like such high quality from the deepest love, you can tell. And thank you so much for all your generosity and all the hours you've put in. And this is just phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome, Allison. So glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Let us know in the comments if you've already watched Allison's session today. And if you have, let us know what your spirit animal is. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, you're going to want to tune into Allison's session today. Jenny just said, I watched half of Allison's presentation and I can't wait to get back and finish it.
Cool.
Allison, why don't you tell us a little bit, for those who haven't watched your presentation yet, a little bit about who you are and what you do and how you help families.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm Allison. I also am a neurodiverse person. And I work with parents of teens who are really struggling in their relationship to help give them the tools so that they feel like they can handle the things that are coming up when they do, like they know how to like manage the different things. And so that they really feel like they can master having a really close connected relationship with their teens.
Beautiful. I don't know if you heard the conversation that we were just having earlier with Sherry. Sherry has a 15-year-old daughter, went to the first day of school, but has not gone to the second and third day. Do you have any suggestions? Has this happened in your world where teenage girls are just not wanting to go to school, and any ideas on how Sherry can support her daughter?
Absolutely. Yes, we've been here.
Mhm.
It's tough. It's really, it's a challenging situation for sure when we're like, we know this is good for you. So excuse me, I'm just gonna get some of the visual distractions away from me. Okay, so I have seen this and I have seen a turnaround. So part of it, I think, is really like giving our kids that autonomy. Like once we have teenagers, none of that like controlling, punitive, and I'm not accusing anyone of being that way, but culturally, that's what's accepted. That's the norm. That's what they're feeling when they're going to school a lot of times, especially because that's the easiest way to control a classroom is to be like, okay, well, you don't know what you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Like, you have detention or I'm going to call your mom or like, like let's punish to control. And so, like really showing our kids that we're here to partner with them. We're here to build that connection first, like, because what do we have? Well, once we have a teenager, we don't have as much control anymore. There a lot of those strategies that we've used in the past aren't going to work. So what we have is the relationship. What we have is influence. So the connection just becomes so much more essential when we're talking about trying to influence our teens to do something that they're not interested in doing. So connecting, getting into like their why, like, okay, what is so hard about school right now? And validating that experience. Okay. Like getting curious and being like, what are the things that are feeling like barriers for you? Like maybe we can figure this out together. I think that really sets ourselves back up as that leader in the relationship to be like, we're going to figure this out. Like, we've got this. We're going to do this together. The other thing is like really viewing it from their perspective. And like, when we're having that conversation, like not doing this push, push, push thing. It's really easy for us to keep bringing up our agenda and, like all of the reasons cognitively, our smart brains are like, oh, but this is important. And this is going to give you a future for, like you can get into whatever college you want to go to. But right now they're not thinking about college. They're thinking about like, I don't have the right shoes, or so-and-so is going to be mean to me, or I don't like my teacher. And so like what's in it for them and kind of building that piece, but not doing so in a pushy way. So like waiting for them to show you like where the relief needs to come so that they can think about going to school again. But I've sat with parents that have waited a really long time for their kid to get to a place where they can go back to school and start doing that regularly. But it really starts with that like trust, that safety in the relationship. I know that was a really long answer.
That connection is so the most important piece. Like, yes, we want to get our kids to school or we want them to do whatever the thing is, but the connection and the relationship always has to come first. And that might feel like it's taking a long time and that it's kind of slow, but that's the starting point.
Absolutely. And I see that with therapy too. Like a lot of people want to get their kids into therapy or even like medication for ADHD, something like that. I'm not sure how much you guys have talked about that. Personally, I'm not a huge proponent of medicating for ADHD, but if that feels right for your family at the time, like that might be something where you're feeling yourself kind of pushing, come on, like, let's do this, come see it from my perspective. But to really like give space to validate their resistance, to be like, okay, so you don't want to take this medication or go to counseling because, it makes you feel like you are different. I can see why you would feel that way. That's totally normal for you to feel that way. It's okay. I get it. And if we can stop pushing long enough to like allow them to lead in that particular decision that they really do ultimately get the final say on, because you can drag them to counseling and they're not going to talk. So I've seen it work in that way too, that once we stop pushing, once we pull back and we wait for them, then we have a lot more success in those relationships. And like, okay, like now I have influence. Like once I stop pushing, then I'm able to lead. My team can come with me.
Lovely. And Gita, who's watching right now, she's a mom of 2 teenagers, and she just wrote, I found that the more I let go of my own agenda, the better I was able to be present, listen, and connect to my kids. It's hard to let go, and I'm still practicing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it is a
Gita.
practice. We're not going to get it right every time.
Now,
Sometimes we're going to like find ourselves being like, and you need to do this, and you need to, and it's because, and My kid will just be like, Mom, stop. I'm like, you're right. Okay, I'll stop.
Allison, when I let people know that you were coming on today and that your session was airing today, there was some excitement because some people already know you from my world, with maybe through your summit, Best Mom Ever Summit. And also because you were in the Love You Parenting membership a few months back when we recorded your session. So that's something inside the membership. We bring experts in. As I'm preparing for big summits like this, you get to have a little bit of a sneak peek. So if you are a Love You member or a Warrior Mama, you've already done the art session with Allison. You already know what your spirit animal is. And we're so grateful that you're here, Allison. Can you let us know about what the spirit animals are? And so people who aren't familiar with you or with the session yet, let's give them an idea of what they can expect.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it sounds really like deeply spiritual or maybe like native or something like that. It's really, I mean, although I am a spiritual person, it's more accessible than that if that's not you. It's very much like setting the intention of how you want to show up in your relationship with your kids with a tactile and visual like cue reminder to be able to like, you know, touch and slow down to do the coloring or to draw your own, working through some of the potential like emotional challenge behind like the imperfection of art, and knowing that that's probably some of what your kids are experiencing if they have ADHD and trying to go to school every day in a neurotypical environment where, you know, they don't always understand what your kids' needs are. And then choosing how you want to be in your relationship with your kids. So we did a butterfly was one of the options. We did a dog, a lion, and and an owl. So the butterfly was like being open to transformation and really like leaning into that growth. Like, okay, I may not get it right this time, but I know that I'm on the journey. I'm transforming who I am, and that's going to require some failure to get there, and being okay with that. And then we did the owl, which is like being curious. And it was this like little owl that's like leaning to the side, like, and just like stepping back and like wondering, like, what else is here that I'm not seeing? Like, I'm seeing this behavior from my child that I don't like. You know, maybe they're even telling me like, I don't trust you, and that feels awful. And so like we're tempted to react, but like, how do we like be curious and like, like, I wonder where this is coming from. Like, there could be a lot of things, even if they're saying something that we really disagree with or don't like, or doing something that we don't like, that like we might totally relate to, and be like, that's the thing, right? And then that just makes it so much easier to be present with them. So being curious, right? And then the lion is courageous, and our kids need a lot of courage, because parenting is the hardest thing that any of us are ever going to have to do. So it takes a lot of courage to keep showing up, to keep trying to do it in the best way that we know how, that we have access to. You know, based on our own upbringing, like it might take a lot of courage to break down some of those patterns, those habits that we've learned, or to be vulnerable and like, okay, so when that happened, I felt really angry. And acknowledging that, and being able to be true and honest and have integrity in that, you know, that authentic space. So lion for courage. And then we had the dog. So maybe you're the cheerleader. Maybe you have found yourself like, you know, being more negative than you want to be. Maybe you weren't encouraged as a child as much as your kid needs from you. And so, okay, so like, just as a little reminder, like, oh, you know, my dog is always going to be happy to see me. Like, you know, even when I mess up, even when I'm, you know, not as kind and gentle as I want to be, you know, like she's always going to be there, like excited to see me whenever I get home. And like, that's a beautiful thing that we can offer to our kids, is like that connection, that insightful, like, I am so glad you're here. Like, if we can give that to our kids, that is so powerful. Like, not how was your day? Like, what homework do you have? But like, you're you're here with me. That's such a gift that we can give our kids. So maybe that's the spirit animal you want to connect to set your intention for how you want to show up in your relationship. So that's what we did. We did some coloring, and we talked about some, things about ADHD, obviously. And we did this one because I got a little nervous. I had never really done too much live. I did one live, but it was a little bit different. I was like prepared in a different way because it was like a solo session, and this was like a dynamic session. So yeah, we got to be super authentic and raw too, which was cool.
So when you say that we got to do this, like this is a way to anchor into your calm. There's lots of this. It's part of Brain Gym. It's called Lazy Eights. And I often talk about it because Alton, while I've been live this week, I have lost my train of thought a number of times. I think that's normal, I would say, for neurotypicals, but a little bit more normal for ADHD brains. So people have seen me doing this. So if this is something new to you, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'll show you how to do it and you can join in. So basically you're making an infinity symbol. So an 8 on its side, and your eyes are tracking. And this is a super good exercise for ADHD brains because, so go ahead and try that. You can try it while I'm talking. We want to do anything that crosses the midline. Anything where our body crosses the midline, that helps our brains, because in an ADHD brain, the left and the right hemisphere, the little bridge that connects them is a little bit faulty. I think about it as like walkie-talkies, and there's a little bit of static. So any kind of physical activities that we can do that cross the midline, that strengthens the connections between the two hemispheres. So that's super good. I know a few people have mentioned that their kids have some reflex integration. So again, like that, that anything that crosses the midline helps with that. The other thing is, often kids with ADHD or people with ADHD, their eyes can be rigid and tight. So this is a good exercise for your eyeball. And as you loosen up your eyeballs, that helps to loosen up and relax the thoughts. So if you're finding your child is like hyper focusing on something, and it's maybe not something you want them hyper focusing on, or they're repetitive in their thoughts and repetitive in their behaviors, getting them to practice those lazy eights is really good for them. Or even in the moments where if they're kind of stuck, like some kids with ADHD also have some obsessive compulsive traits, or may also be on the autism spectrum. So a simple thing you can get them to do is look in a different direction. Like, oh, do you see that bird up there? And see if they can look with just moving their eyeballs to see it. Oh, and can you grab that pen that's on the floor, but only move your eyes to like guide you down there? Like just getting them to, or even just moving their eyes. Oh, cool. Do you see that over there? And then they're looking farther away. So if you have these kids that are like kind of stuck on repetitive things, getting them to move their eyeballs is helpful. But the reason why Allison and I were doing this in our live sessions is because they say 90% of the time when you do that, if you've forgotten something, the thought will come back. And that's from Brain Gym. So that's a little tip that you can try out. Let us know in the comments. Put a number 8 in the comments if you have tried the lazy eights before. I'd love to see who's tried.
Oh, cute. I like that idea.
And also in the comments, let us know what you think your spirit animal would be. Maybe after you watch a session, it might change, but what do you think your spirit animal is? And I wonder if we have emojis for all those cute little things. So owl, dog, lion, owl, dog, owl, dog, lion, butterfly.
There you go. We got them all.
Let us know what you think your spirit animal is. Allison, what would yours be?
I try to be all of them at different times. I'm leaning toward lion right now. Just having the courage to keep going. When things get crazy, when things are hard, just trying to continue to show up and be vulnerable and like, okay, like failure. Let me try again. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to have courage.
Love it. And that's really perfect for this summit too.
The other
Allison,
thing about crossing midline that's really essential is, or can be really impacting kids, is for kids who don't crawl.
Mm.
So they're not integrating the two sides of their body very well. And so that's really like a big thing for them, talking about like integrating those reflexes. And so if they didn't crawl, they often are going to have a lot of trouble crossing. So doing those exercises is really helpful. And they might have problems with hand dominance, which is going to impact handwriting and school performance down the line. So I totally, occupational therapists can help address this issue. And, if your kid is having a lot of problems with handwriting, or you're noticing that like, oh, they're ambidextrous, they'll write with either hand or they'll eat with either hand. That actually might be a sign that they're having a lot of difficulty getting from one side of their body to the other, that actually crossing is really challenging for them. I was working with a client yesterday, and I had set up this activity for them to cross. So they had to put something over here, and I watched them turn their entire body, even though they were like in all fours, they turned their entire body so they didn't have to cross. So just a lot of empathy if that's what the kids are going through.
mm-hmm. And I like how you had that activity plan with the reaching, so it can be kind of an organic thing too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super organic. It was totally therapeutic. Like, here, we're doing this. This is the thing. But it takes a lot of time to build the rapport to get to that point with kids, because they're like, no, this is hard. I don't think so. We're not doing this.
Now, is your little one going to school this year or not yet?
My little one, no,
No,
no, I have
not
a
yet.
4-year-old. I
Okay.
know I work with teens, but it's more related to my experience as a teen, and then like my experience as an occupational therapist. I've been working with young people for years, and I just have such a heart for what teens need right now. But my little is actually 4 years old, and just such a ball of energy. We're working through all the things to try to get him to where he can manage his energy in a way that like it's tolerable for other people, because he's super social and he wants to be with everyone. So we want them to be with him too, or want to. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm just thinking it's back to school time. So any suggestions or ideas for how to prepare for back to school?
Oh, suggestions or ideas on how to prepare for back to school. So for me as a student, I was most successful when I had an organization system that I was completely bought into. So that's the tricky piece, because we can set up things for our young people with ADHD, and they're like, that's nice, but my brain does not like doing boring things. So no, thank you. So really collaborating with them on how they want to set up their organization system, and getting their buy-in on something so that they can feel prepared for what's coming. Helping them to really break down the task of organizing their year so that they don't feel like they have to do it all at once. Building in like small spaces for just that little bit of organization that's going to help them to see activities through completion, to actually get the homework assignment into the folder it needs to be in so that it's in the backpack for tomorrow. Those kinds of things I think will be really helpful for kids. So collaborating on an organization system that you guys want to work on together, I think is probably our best thing for putting our best foot forward for the year.
I love that you shared that, because in our interview yesterday we had, or was it the day before? I'm getting a little bit mixed up now, but we had Dr.
There.
Kristen Wilcox and her son Andrew, who's 19 years old, and he was sharing from his perspective what works. And that's exactly what he said. Like, there has the person, the individual, young person, teenager with ADHD, they have to be part of the planning and collaborating and deciding what works for them. Like, parents and teachers can have all these great ideas, but if they're not into it, it's just not going to work. So really collaborating with your teen and involving them is the best thing.
Awesome. Yep.
Allison, where can people find you?
They can find me at bestmomever22.com. I have I have a free gift, leading great conversations with teenagers, on my website that they can access. But I would love it if you guys wanted to get on my email list, and then I can continue to connect with you. I also have a podcast called Best Mom Ever! Parenting Teens. So you can find me
Lovely.
there as well.
So Best Mom Ever! Parenting Teens is the podcast.
Yep.
And your website is Best Mom Ever?
bestmomever22.com. Yeah, it was a long story. I ended up having to put a number in there to get an actual URL. So bestmomever22.com.
Lovely, 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 lovely. And I love that you put that out there, best mom ever. So many of us have these negative thoughts of what we're doing. We talked about this earlier, like I'm a bad mom. Sarah shared that she had the thought, like I'm a failure as a mom. But I love that you put that right out there. I'm the best mom ever. Why not? I'm awesome.
Yeah. And I think for teens, like when you're parenting a teen, we just like the reinforcement goes away. Like littles will reinforce you and they'll tell you how great you are, but a teenager, that comes more few and far between. So I want you to be able to feel that as a mom.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Allison. I'm so excited that it worked out to bring you on today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the last minute. Everything looks so polished and professional. It's beautiful. Thank you for having me in. I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing wave you're creating over here.
Awesome. And in the ADHD village, share your pictures with us. Let us see what your spirit animal is. And this is a nice chance for Allison and Elizabeth for you two to meet each other.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
Microphone.
So is it okay if I put, or are they able to access the PDFs for the, for creating?
So yeah, so the PDFs are in the VIP journal. We can share them in the group as well. I'm not sure if they're on your page or not. They were supposed to be on your page, are they?
Supposed to be on my page.
The speaker page. Anyway, we'll make yeah, everybody has a page with their interview and the
I'll go and see.
It should be there.
I'm sure they are. I didn't really know how to find it. It's all sort of been, the timing was weird for me. So
that's okay.
I appreciate you making space for me.
I'm so glad that you were able to join us. Thank you, Allison. Let's please give some hearts in the chat for Allison to show her our love and gratitude and appreciation, and also to welcome in Elizabeth. So let's fill this space up with lots of hearts and love. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm just wanting to be part of your conversation about parenting teens, you know, like,
and you've got 2 teen boys, is
yes,
that right? Yes. How old are they?
I have my younger just started school back this week. He's a sophomore. No, sorry, he's a junior. He's a junior now. And then I have a 19-year-old who's still home from college. He was in college for the first year. So he's going back to college to be a sophomore. And woo, it's been a ride. I actually just got off the phone right now with the family therapist. And yeah, there's a lot going on there and Julian, actually my older, is showing up on my Instagram now. He has some insight he wants to share in terms of, you know, being a mom. I call myself a mamathist. You know, like it's probably traumatic, and for better or for worse, he has a mom who's also a therapist, you know.
So fun.
So yeah, we'll have to connect, Allison.
Absolutely.
I want to listen to your podcast. Maybe we can connect on that.
Cool. Yeah.
So fun. So Elizabeth, your session aired yesterday. So let us know in the comments, did you have a chance to watch Elizabeth's session? And hers is a beautiful one. There's a lot of information about and a lot of love about self-care, which has been a theme that has shown up throughout the summit, how important it is to take care of yourself and give yourself compassion and love and kindness, just the way we would for our children. So yeah, let us know if you've seen Elizabeth's session. If you have not seen it, not to worry, it will be available for the replay period. So you have all day Saturday and all day Sunday to watch that.
Awesome.
So Elizabeth, let us know, since we were talking about self-care, what is something, because you've got some, I know that you've got some beautiful things in the works in your community. Why is it especially important for moms who have neurodiverse kids, and probably especially at this time of year as we're sending them off to school? Why is it so important that moms take care of themselves?
It's just the most important thing. For so many reasons. I mean, the number one reason is because we're the foundation of everything. You know, they're feeling our energy. We have these mirror neurons that are going off, that are, you know, like spooky sci-fi, we're sharing energy with the people that we're around. And I don't know if anybody can feel my energy right now, but maybe I can do a little bit of modeling, because I just got a call. Not only was I on with the family therapist until I told him 9:30 I had to get off, it went until 9:45. But then as I'm putting my makeup on for this, I got a call that my mom fell in
Oh,
her home that she's staying. So I have to attend to that once I'm off this call. But I am, you know, filled with a lot of anxiety. So we're not in person right now, but you know, the energy is contagious. So you want to do some deep breathing with me real quick,
I
and then we can get back
really
to our
do. And
conversation?
I'm sorry that you're going through that.
The sandwich years are really hard, but I have my Hoberman ball. Should we do some belly
Yes,
breathing?
please.
Thank you. I'm going to do a little shaking too. And just, I have a window right here. I'm just going to let it out to Mother Earth can take it, right?
Mm. And this is really good. We've been sitting for a long time, and this is good modeling that even the therapists, even like the
Oh yeah.
experts go through these things. We had that talk earlier that we're humans too. We have feelings and emotions too, and good days and bad days. And
Yes.
yeah, so good to see how you
Okay.
handle
So
it.
thanks for that. I'm much better. There's something to be said for shaking it off, you know? Okay, so we have these mirror neurons going off, and so our people around us are feeling our energy, whether we like it or not, and our kids feel our energy. So if we're in a state of dysregulation or anxiety or overwhelm or whatever, then our kids are feeling that and absorbing that as well. And because we are co-regulators, that is the foundation of regulation, is supporting, assisting, coaching, pumping up, calming down, whatever it might be, to show up for the people around us. And so if we don't have water in our own pitcher, we can't pour in the cups around us. There's nothing to give. So that's why we, you know, made it a point to talk about self-care as the number one foundational need. And that's the first module in the course of Make It Stick Parenting, which I cannot wait to have your people and my people connect on that in the new year. So mark your calendars and be waiting for Laura and I to collaborate on walking you through the pathway. And then, you know, I have been part of a women's circle that started out actually with the reading The Artist Way. Do you know that?
No, the
Julia
artist way.
Cameron, The Artist Way. It's not about parenting. It's about finding your creative self, which, you know, I was just kind of like, okay, you know, because my creative work is my work. I love what I do. Writing children's books and curriculum and talking to people like you. It's just so fun. But I started Friday mornings at 6 a.m. We meet. We've been meeting for, I think it's almost 3 years now. I can't remember exactly when we started, and then we meet once a year because we're not all together. It's on Zoom. And these sisters, chosen sisters, we call it the Creative Sister Group, have been like, I've had trauma this last 18 months, from deaths to kids to mom to lots of things. I mean, I don't even want to name them because they would traumatize people listening. And my sister's support in that group has, I mean, I have friends too that I've been friends with since elementary school, high school. I have a lot of close friends, but the friends and the support and how they've shown up for me, whether even so over text message, we have a meeting that we do gratitudes every morning, and I feed off their gratitudes, they feed off mine, they remind me to do mine, and it's just been remarkable. And one of the women who started it, Isabel Bridges, she does this for work. This is what she does. She runs women's circles, and so but she's part of this, ours. She's not facilitating. We all take turns facilitating. And so she and I have been partnering. She has a daughter who's neurodivergent, and with my two sons. And I was like, I really at someday want to do this for parents of neurodivergent kids, because it's just different. A, if you don't have kids, and B, if you have kids that are kind of the weeds. So you and I talked about in our session. They'll just grow through the cracks in the desert, wherever, it's just different. There's much more pressure and responsibility and things to do that aren't like chosen things to do. Like, other moms are busy as well with gymnastics and soccer and art and all those things. But if your kid is on, doing just fine in any class that they go into and any social situation they go into, and all the different things, then it's just a different experience than having to navigate therapy and testing and, teacher and social and all the different things, not to mention just the chores and homework and just connection at home. So we wanted to create this circle for moms of neurodivergent kids. So I'm working really hard on getting that just like jump started. We put it off, but then we were like, let's just do it for a 6-week pilot for the back to school. And then I've also been partnering with the Powerful Project, which is a nonprofit that provides supplementary funding for families who can't afford mental health services. So it's for teens and young adults. And these are the families in between, like not the families that are in the low income bracket where they get support and services, and not the kids that can afford it on their own, but the kids that are in the middle. So we find therapists who are willing to lower their rate, and then we have the parents pay what they can, and then the Powerful Project pays the rest. So we're going to be doing this support circle starting on September 25th and it's not about kids at all. We're not going to be doing any therapy. We're not going to be doing any training. I really don't even want to talk about like what's going on with our kids. It's really just spending that time nurturing yourselves and letting us guide you through nurturing interactions. So that's going to be for 6 weeks as a pilot, just starting September 25th. And I'm really excited about that, to do that with Isabel. She's going to teach me and then we're going to give part of the proceeds to the Powerful Project.
This is so powerful. And Elizabeth, this is what a lot of the moms inside of this community right now, inside of the ADHD Village, what they're saying is they really are enjoying these live sessions during the summit, because it's a chance for us to come together, to talk about things, and to feel like we're not alone. Like, if you don't have friends and family who are raising kids with neurodiversities like you are, they don't get it. And that's what a lot of people are commenting to me. Like, it feels good to be around people, even though it's like through this magical internet world, like virtually, but around people who get it. And it feels like it can feel so isolating, but when we're supporting each other, you don't feel as alone. And that gives you so much strength. So if that resonates with you, if you're feeling like the power from this community, the strength of being here together, type in a little emoji or a little heart to let us know like how you're feeling. We're hoping that you feel like the village. It takes a village to raise a child, especially when they have a neurodiversity like ADHD. And we want to wrap a village of support around you and your child so that you can feel the love all around you, right? That's why we have the saying in here, find your people, love them hard. Like, we are your people. We are your village.
Yeah. Sorry, do you hear the construction?
No.
Okay, good. I was going to just run away and tell you if it's distracting. We're just having a little bit of plumbing issue on top of everything.
On top of everything else, just a few more things to manage.
Just a few more things, and just, I forgot to tell them I'm recording right now.
There's some comments coming in for you. Stacy said she's sorry for what you're going through and she can feel your energy. Yeah, like energy is, Yes, it's something that we need to investigate more, right?
Oh, it's
Um,
huge. It's nervous system, it's everything.
Mercedes, what kind of ball, what's the name of the ball Mercedes wants to know?
Oh, Hoberman ball.
Hoberman ball.
I love these. They're great for working with visually for kids with, like the visual aspect of like diaphragmatic breathing. So I do it instead of breathing from their chest and your shoulders, which can be more stressful, but really like expanding the belly back. And I use it a lot for myself, but
Mercedes said that she loves the gratitude every morning with the accountability piece. So Mercedes, you are inside the Love You Parenting, and we encourage in there to put our celebrations, but maybe that's something that we can bring into Love You Parenting is to post our gratitude every single day and cheer each other on. So let me know
yeah,
what you
no,
think about
gratitude
that.
and mindfulness have changed. We talked about this in our interview together, but gratitude and mindfulness has changed my life. I don't know what I would do if I didn't, when I was feeling that level of energy. Just right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm feeling each toe on the ground. And even though I'm mindful with you and looking at the beautiful scenery and flowers and beauty in front of me and connected with you, I'm also keeping myself grounded mindfully so that I don't get too in my head about, what I have to do after this call and all the nuttiness that's going on around me. And the gratitudes, like even when my sister was passing, I forced myself to say, this nurse was amazing, and my friend Katie showed up for me. Thank goodness for a car that works, that gets me to the hospital, So it's like all these things and then I also, with the 6 people in my circle, like we do it on text messaging. So every morning I get to listen to what they're grateful for.
That's so
And
lovely.
it's a huge get to.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes I'm like, I'm in a horrible mood. I don't feel like doing this. And I'm like, and I do it for the day prior. So it's always just like reflecting on the past day. That's how I do it. I'm not sure how they do it, but, and so it's always like, okay, what happened that was good yesterday? What filled me up? What can I be positive about?
Let us know in the comments if you practice some sort of daily gratitude. I find this is really powerful. My mom always said to me, before you get out of bed, before your toes touch the floor, think about 3 things that you're grateful for. So I do try to do that every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's
that's why I put it in the journal and the coloring book so that parents can do it together with their kids in a very, very simple, systematic way. So that's what I wanted to put out there this last summer. That's brand new as well that we talked about. The common humanity is huge too. That's why it's so great that you have your village, and that's why I wanted to provide this circle, because it is that common humanity of just, I think that different than the circle that I'm in on Friday mornings, that is not about parenting and it's not about neurodivergent kids. They all know about my kids and things that I've gone through, but it's not about that. But, and this support group that we're putting together, again, it's not about the kids at all. It's going to be all about self-love, self-worth, any, things that come up around shame and how to release that. And it's not like my course is all about that. That's where it starts with self-care on the course, but it goes through your home and, indirect supports that you can do and then direct supports that you can do. But that's not what this is. This is just for moms, actually. And sorry, dads, but this is just for moms.
And you mentioned the course a couple of times, and this is something Elizabeth and I are excited to share with you in the new year in 2024. And it's something that we put there. It's in the interview, it's in your thread. Let us know right here if you would be interested in taking a course with Elizabeth and I. Just put me so we get an idea of, who might be interested, and that will be coming in the new year. There's some comments for you coming in. Mercedes said, I'm so grateful for the Love You community. That's where I found my support and kindness. Again, like this, there's so much value in that human connection.
Yes.
Stacy said, I met another friend for a play date who both kids have ADHD, and there were some sensory issues, and someone's nanny apologized and said the child has autism, and we were both like, that's totally okay. We definitely understand having neurodiverse kids. You could just see her tension melt.
Oh, yes. we don't live in a world that's accepting and celebrating and supportive of this. It's, we have to pave our own path and find our people and then crusade together, and also retreat together because it's exhausting out there sometimes.
Mercedes commented that it's very inspiring that you found gratitude even in the hardest times. And I think there's so much to be said when you're able to hold space for pain and gratitude at the same time, even in those really dark moments, if you can find some light. Yeah, that's so inspiring, Elizabeth.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it really has saved me. It really has. It's just, I read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Pam Grott. Do you know that book?
No, but I'm writing it in the comments.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, is this going to be a whole bunch of toxic positivity? I wasn't into it at first. And then I started doing some of the practices and I'm like, okay, never mind. It works.
Think and Grow Rich.
Thank.
Oh, Think and Grow Rich.
Because there's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and she took a spin on that. Thank.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Got it. Cool. So that's in the comments. Catherine said gratitude sets the attitude. Also answering the why I'm grateful for XYZ. So taking it that step further. Why are you grateful for it?
Yeah.
Love that. Stacy said, knowing there are others navigating some complicated kiddos helps so much in the journey and knowing that you're not alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So much. And that's what I want to do, is just be in circle and give, like I said, 3 years of this circle has just changed my life. And I want to give that to parents who I know are going through similar things to me. And I want to be in circle with parents who are without even having to talk about it really, but just like being together. It's just different. It feels different to me. It just does.
And I need to connect with you about this, Elizabeth, because this is something I'd like to be into.
Yes, I would love for you to be part of it.
Yeah.
And again, like it's a philanthropy thing. I realized with my coach therapist the other day, I said, you know what? Because a lot of this work is not something I have to do. This is my passion project. I have other work that I do. I do work in the field, meaning, when I work the trainings with the zones of regulation and the company that I run with speech therapists, but this is my passion, is the parents and social emotional learning. And I said, oftentimes like, I just need a break, it's just too much coming in all around. And I'm like, the only thing that I really can give up is my passion project. I'm like, I don't want to. And so it's like my 3 Ps, and I added the last one, passion, purpose, which this is both my passion and my purpose. But then the philanthropy piece of it is like, brings a whole new light to it. I'm like, yes. And so this project, the Powerful Project, I cannot wait to share with you. And actually we should tag Lauren Foster. You're going to want to connect with Lauren Foster. She has a practice as a speech therapist, and she has a practice in Atlanta. And she is an angel. She is wonderful. And this project that she's doing is great. We need to get it all over the world, but I'm going to try to help her bridge it into California.
Is it called Power Up Project?
No, the Powerful Project.
And is Suzanne a part of this?
Suzanne Tucker.
Yeah.
From Generation Mindful.
Yeah.
I think that she's sponsored, and I've connected her with Lauren in the past. I'm not sure what her relationship is right now, but I know that they're connected.
Okay. I know, because I've made a donation to them before. Every time I do a summit, there's a challenge for the speakers, and the top 3 speakers get to choose a charity. And as you're talking about this, I'm like, this is familiar. Suzanne won that once, and that was the charity that she chose.
Yay!
So, yeah.
Oh, yay. Yes.
Yeah. So that's something fun that I love to do as I put on these summits, like that giving back. And I don't know which charities where the money's going to go. So somebody else chooses for me. And that's fun too.
Well, you and I could talk about that, because I'm all about philanthropy and trying to find ways to give back. So
Gita shared a comment here. I want to share how life-saving the 5-minute self-compassion break was for me by Kristen Neff.
Yes.
I don't know what that is. Like, I know who
So-
Kristen Neff is, but I don't know specifically what the 5-minute self-compassion break is.
Yeah, you know what? I am actually not sure which one she's talking about either. Maybe she can tell us and we can Google it really quickly. Let me just look it up. But we talked about Kristen Neff in because it doesn't matter how much self-care you do. If you're sitting in a bubble bath and getting a massage and beating yourself up for like not exercising, not eating, yelling at your kid, whatever, then forget about the self-care. But so Kristen Neff does a lot about self-compassion, which is treating yourself like your own best friend. And we talked if those of you haven't listened yet, we talked about the 3 components that she talks about, which is kindness, mindfulness, and common humanity. I like to put mindfulness first because I feel like you need to get grounded first to realize that you're doing it in the first place. 5-minute self-compassion. I'm going to look it up.
And so that mindfulness, that grounding yourself, like that's the theme of this summit, is anchoring in, ground yourself, anchor into your calm, and then lead your family towards harmony and success. So I love the strategy that you shared about feeling each toe on the ground. When we talked about earlier was squeezing the sides of each of your nail beds.
Yes. I mean, I was on a call. My stepsister has multiple disabilities as well. She was in crisis the other day. She called me and she was just, I'm so confused. She was just could not think. I'm so confused. I don't, just all the things. And I said, take a deep breath, look, are your eyes open? Yes. What do you see? My shower cap. What else do you see? The TV. And just her voice, and she was able to she was up, I'm so confused. I'm so, crying and everything. And then it came down, and she was able to pick out 5 things in her environment just to focus on what she saw and get out of her thinking mind and focus on that thing. And it's so jarring to be able to, okay, here's the 5-minute self-compassion break. It's on YouTube though, so I can't play it.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. But I do want to learn about this and share. So yeah, it is. Oh, it's recorded.
We can share it in the group. We can share a link to it in the group later.
Oh, here it is. There's 5. It says, think of a situation in your life that's causing you stress, such as a health problem, relationship. Choose a problem. So let's do this together. Should we do it together?
Yeah.
Okay. Think of a situation in your life that is causing you stress. Okay, which one?
Yeah, only one.
Okay, I got it. Okay. Choose a problem on the milder side to moderate side. Okay. Okay, got it. Visualize the situation clearly in your mind's eye. Okay. Can you feel discomfort in your body as you bring this difficulty to mind? If not, choose a slightly more difficult problem. Okay, now try saying to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. That's the mindfulness piece. You can also say something like, this hurts. Ouch. This is stressful. Now try saying to yourself, suffering is a part of life. It's common humanity. Other options could be like, I'm not alone. Everyone experiences this, just like me. Let that settle in. Everyone experiences just like me. Now offer yourself the gesture of a soothing touch. I'm going to give myself a hug. And try saying to yourself, may I be kind to myself, or may I give myself what I need. Perhaps there are particular words of kindness and support that you need to hear right now. May I accept myself as I am. May I begin to accept myself as I am. May I forgive myself. May I be strong. May I be present. I just like saying, I love you. That's just mine. I love you. Oh, shoot. I lost the page. That was so good. Okay, here. If you're having difficulty finding the right words, imagine that a dear friend, this is the kindness piece too, or loved one is saying these things to you. What would you say to this person? Or sorry, what she's asking us to do is that pretend that we're speaking to somebody. So if you have a hard time speaking to yourself, Laura, I'm telling you how beautiful you are and how strong you are and how you're not alone. And hear that from me. What a simple message would be delivered to your friend. What would you say to a friend? Say it to yourself. And that's it.
This is a really beautiful way to end our session today. We started with tapping in some positive affirmations, and throughout the session, there was different mindfulness techniques, and we talked about self-compassion and self-care. And that was, thank you so much for sharing that, Geeta. And
My
that's something
son
I'd like to,
Julian wants to
yeah. And thanks for leading
get
us
a
through that.
pen.
What's that?
My son Julian's here.
Oh.
If he had a shirt on, I'd had him say hi.
Hi, Julian.
Hi.
This is it. You want to say hi? I'm on an ADHD summit.
Oh,
Here,
I have CBD stuff in my mouth.
oh, he's got his CBD calm in his mouth.
I got
He has shorts on. It's hot here.
Oh,
It's a
that-
shirt. I'm giving you.
that was the perfect way to end the session, with that beautiful self-compassion session. Thank you so much for leading us through that, Elizabeth. And thank you for like being so open and honest and real with us, and for letting us see your beautiful son.
Thank you, Laura, for all that you do and for all the space that you hold. You're amazing. I'm glad to be a part of
Thank you.
it.
So grateful. I love our connections, and we'll be in
Yeah.
touch soon to talk about a few exciting things that we've got planned.
Yes. Okay. Mwah.
Love you. Bye,
Love
Elizabeth.
you. Bye.
Let's give Elizabeth some hearts to show her our love and appreciation.
Bye, everyone.
And if you have not yet seen Elizabeth's session, it will air on the replay weekend. You'll have all day Saturday and Sunday. Or if you have the VIP all access pass, then you can watch Elizabeth's session over and over again anytime that you want. Also, if you have the VIP all access pass, I will be seeing you on Zoom in just half an hour from now for our special VIP call. And then also tomorrow in the afternoon for our heart brain boot camp. So if you've loved a lot of the things that we've been discussing today with Elizabeth and with Sarah and with Allison, I'm going to take that a little bit deeper in our heart brain boot camp tomorrow, which includes some tapping. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Bye.
Sending you all so much love and kindness. And tomorrow is a different day. So the summit has run for 3 days, 3 days of pre-recorded sessions gone out, 3 days of these live sessions. Tomorrow, there are no more recordings going out. We have one thing on the schedule for tomorrow in the morning at 9:30 Eastern time. And that is the How Not to Lose Your Cool, especially when your kids do masterclass. That is on Zoom. So I get to see your faces too. It's not just you looking at me. I get to see you too. So I'm so excited for that. I will share the Zoom link in our Facebook group. It has already been mailed out, but I'll make sure it gets mailed out again. And then if you're a platinum VIP, I'll spend the afternoon with you in the Heart Brain Boot Camp. Friday was supposed to be a day off, but I'm excited about back to school. I'm a teacher and just wanted to tap into some back to school energy with you, share some thoughts and strategies. And so that will be on Friday. And I can't remember off the top of my head what time that's at. I think that went out in your email today. And also last night, it has the schedule of what's coming up. Then Saturday and Sunday, I will be offline because I will be with my kids and my family. I'll be around to check some messages and things like that, but I won't be hosting anything live. But you will have access to the replays all day Saturday, all day Sunday. If you're thinking about purchasing VIP or investing in VIP, I would do it as soon as possible so you can hop into the Heart Brain Boot Camp tomorrow. So you can hop into our Zoom call in half an hour. But if you're wanting to get it at the discounted price of 30-ish% off, that price is in effect until Sunday night. Then Monday morning, it will be the full price. So the gold will be 111 and platinum is 222. So right now I think it's 77 and 137 or something. So hop in now if that's something that you're hoping for. Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye so that I can get ready for my VIP call, which is in 30 minutes. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you, like I'll actually get to see your beautiful faces tomorrow on Zoom. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Messenger, Facebook Messenger is probably the easiest and fastest. You can send me an email too. If I'm not getting like back to you, I've got quite a few balls in the air right now. Send me another message. It's not going to bother me at all. If you send me multiple, it will just like put your message up to the top, or reach out to my team. hello@theadhdvillage.com and they can help you there. Okay. Sending you all so much love. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I will see you later. Bye.